welcome once again to another great episode of Between the Pipes podcast here with myself, Chad Schneider, and as always,
Cameron Muir.
Cameron Muir. Thank you, Cam.
What do we
Well,
got going on today?
yes, today it's February. It's often considered the month of love due to Valentine's Day. So, what better way to celebrate this than a podcast with couples that love Broomball and have also actually met at the arena under Broomball related activities. And they're still together, believe it or not. Who do we got with us, Cam?
Well, we'll start with some Ontario couples here. We've got a couple that met in 2001 when I was just a wee 6 years old.
Oh,
No,
I
I
feel
was
old
7.
already.
My math is
Really? I feel old too.
terrible. We have Ryan and Lindsay. They've played broomball together for at least 20 years. That is.
Wow.
We also have Morgan Betker and Adam Stern, all the way from Minnesota, USA. We have Morgan and Adam who've played broomball all over the world and are here to tell us about the romance that started on the ice. So let's get them in the room here and we can start grilling them with some questions. Welcome. How's it going,
Wow.
guys?
Hey, good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Absolutely. So, welcome to the podcast. This is February's podcast for Valentine's. So tomorrow, so that's a good thing. And because of it, we decided to do a podcast on couples who have met playing broomball. And Vero has reached out to you guys, and thank you for accepting. Thank you so much. So I don't know if you guys have watched our podcast at all, if any of you have seen any of us, but we've been doing this now for what, 2-3 years? Yeah,
I think 3 years, yeah.
3 years now. And we always have our token first question and our token last question. So if you've watched this, you know what it is. And the first one is right out of the gate is tell us a little bit about yourselves as individuals and how you got into broomball. Do we have any takers for a volunteer to start? If not, I'm going to point fingers.
I can start, I guess.
Thank
So
you.
I'm Morgan Betker. I grew up in Iowa, moved to Minnesota for college, and then just stayed around afterwards. So yeah, I live in Minneapolis, and I'm a professor in kinesiology. So I teach for Southwest Minnesota State, which is a small state school. I got into broomball actually because well, I played hockey in college and I wasn't the greatest. I didn't get a lot of playing time, but I played at a D3 school here for St. Thomas University. And so I didn't have the best hands. And so I kind of shied away from hockey after college. But then I had a girlfriend of mine, a fellow athlete, um, started dating this guy. And he played broomball, and so he made her play broomball, and then she needed a friend to play broomball, and so she roped me in, and that's how I started playing broomball. So, and ever since that, I mean, it's been 5 years, almost 6 years, and it's been an excellent addition to my life, honestly, all around.
Some good cardio, right?
Yeah.
Adam, how about yourself?
Yeah, Adam Stern. I'm born and raised here in Minnesota. How I guess I got my start was I went to school in Duluth, Minnesota, Duluth there, and they had quite the indoor kind of intramural season of broomball that I didn't actually play in, but a lot of my roommates did, so I spectated. And then when I moved down to Minneapolis, some of those guys were already living down here, and I got roped into playing some outdoor with them. And I think I've been playing for maybe about 11 years now. This would have been the 12th season, but I don't know what the Canadian weather's been like, but here in Minnesota, it's been averaging about 45 degrees.
There's no outdoor.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So this season's been kind of a wash. So we'll hang on 11.
It's all indoor broomball for me up here anyway. So it's,
yeah. We don't play any outdoor leagues, so that's all you're doing right now, Mark or Adam, is outdoor. You're not doing any
no,
indoor
we
stuff?
do indoor. We're actually on a
indoor co-rec league.
indoor co-rec league. Yeah.
But this is the time for outdoor broomball, and we can't play right now, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
thanks.
Lindsay?
I currently live in Tara, Ontario. I grew up in Allenford, Ontario, which is a very small rural area. I work as an office admin at a home hardware just north of here. And I started playing broomball when my aunt roped me into going out for broomball practice because Ryan had played. And I've now been playing broomball. This will be my 23rd year playing broomball. I played since I was 16
Wow.
and been to multiple provincials and nationals and still playing on two teams. I run a rec team here out of a small area called Katy, and I play competitive for an intermediate team called the Young Guns. We won provincials last year and hoping to compete this year. Played lots of other sports. When I started playing broomball, I actually played ringette hockey and broomball that whole first year. My mom just gave me a car and said bye for the winter, basically. And yeah, now we live in Tara and have 3 boys.
Wow.
Yeah, and our broomball, yeah, it's all indoors here. They don't play any outdoor. We would be the same this year. Our winter hasn't been very much of winter.
Right on. Thank you. Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan Gregg. So I grew up in Katy. There's been a broomball league there for 100 years and some. So my dad played. My sisters are older than I. They played, and actually playing minor hockey growing up. It was just a Sunday night, first Sunday of the season back in 2001 or maybe 2000. A buddy called and said he needed a player. So because I only lived a 30-second drive down the hill, I went and played and scored on our first shift. We lost that game 1, but I was hooked. Played a year that year, and then the following year we rounded up a bunch of our buddies and started a junior team and won provincials that year and the next couple, and kind of was all forward from there. Since then it's been 23 years. Won a couple provincials, been to a few nationals. We hosted a couple nationals in Owen Sound here that was a big part of, so that was interesting and really brought a lot of broomball buzz to our community. Now have moved on to masters for the first year, so it's definitely a much different game, but it's fun to be back playing with guys the same age and buddies we started with for the most part. So still having fun and playing still in the Katy League. It's going strong. So yeah, try to keep active, and it won't be long now before those boys will be playing, I'm sure. So
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's get into the serious questions and let's talk about your love stories. So the Americans over here, let's start with you guys. How did it start? Was it an on the ice thing, or was it after broomball kind of party thing? Everyone went to the bar, or what happened there?
Oh man, I feel like it's a kind of a combination of that. Do you want me to?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay.
You got it.
So I feel like it was like my second game on our outdoor team, and I don't know. It's 8's outdoors, so it's like very chaotic. And the sheets are smaller than like your traditional indoor rink, so even more chaotic than I don't know. You'd assume, playing sixes, but I don't know. We were both playing forward.
Sorry, I want to pause.
You're gonna have to explain the sixes and the eights because I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Yeah. So sixes is just like regular, like goalie +5.
Okay.
Right. 8's is goalie +7.
Okay.
So it's a lot.
It's chaotic. Yeah.
A lot of congestion.
It's a lot. I mean, that's 16 bodies on the ice, right? Plus the ref. Yeah. It's you want to wear a cage when you're playing 8's. That's for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, do you need any more deets than that?
No, I'd never heard that, but that's cool.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So like normal broomball and then like excessive like herd hockey or like herd broomball, little kid broomball. Because
How,
it's
how do you
just
get
On
a shot
smaller
through it?
ice
Are people
surface.
not just blocking shots like crazy out there?
it's tough, but there's a lot of like short, like backhanded goals or breakaways or a lot of tips, a lot of dinks. The goals aren't pretty, and you
Yeah.
can't do a full like
Garbage
windmill
goals.
swing. You can't swing above your shoulder, so the rules are a little
Okay.
different. But
Okay.
so
All
yeah,
right.
it's chaotic. So there was chaos in front of the net, and we were both playing forward, and I swung for a ball at the same time that he was swinging for the ball to score. So his broom, as it hit the ball, my broom hit his broom. The ball like went into the back of the net. It flung forward and we both scored. So I turn around and I'm celebrating, right?
And then meantime, I'm going like, why is she celebrating? That was my goal.
So we scored together. And that's kind of like, I don't know, it was the first time that like you were like, who the hell is this chick and why did she steal my goal? It's my goal. And so I don't know if that was like a first impression because clearly we'd played like a couple games together, but that was the first time I think that he was maybe, I don't know, you can speak for yourself on that.
Well, yeah. I was enamored at first, that first game, but then after the goal stealing, you take away your stat sheet, you're just like, what's going on here? But no, it was all in good fun, and we all celebrated afterward. After the shock wore off.
Yeah, after my goal, right? Yeah. And then I don't know, we went out as a team a couple times, and of course, you have beers and you start chatting, and I think we both bonded over The Office, Michael Scott, that's what she said jokes, and I don't know, we both traveled quite a bit, and so we had some stories. Yeah, travel stories to swap, and I don't know, just kind of grew from there. So it's been,
Have you guys
yeah.
been kicked out of Chili's yet or anything?
Not quite. The waitress
Okay.
tripped on the cord.
We've been overserved before.
We've definitely been overserved.
Okay. I'm glad you guys got the reference then, at least. Very cool. All right, Ryan and Lindsay, how about you guys? 20 years.
So ours was a little different. We didn't meet on ice. We actually met on the ice floor at the Katy Beef Barbecue, which is a summer event that's hosted to raise money for the Katy Arena, essentially every year, Katy Minor Sports, and kind of hit it off that night, but nothing really followed. And then the following spring, we were at a tournament in Shallow Lake, and I was there playing with a team called the Hillbillies, and Lindsay was there babysitting her niece, who she now plays with, for her aunt, who she is now managed by, and got her out. And so yeah, we got chatting in the beer gardens at that tournament, and then things kind of really took off from there. We saw each other again the next weekend in Katy, and then it throughout the summer got talking, and I guess it might have been faster than that. So yeah, essentially it was a Broomball beer gardens after a Broomball ice surface that we met, and that was in high school. And it wasn't long after that we were both playing, and we'd get off the bus at my parents' house and head down to the Katy Arena, and the rinky there was super nice guy and treated us well. So we go down and practice, just the two of us at the Katy Arena, and hone our skills after school before real life set in. So that's kind of, we met at Broomball, and it's been a huge part of our lives ever since.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear your love story lasted more than the average 1 week thing after a broomball tournament. So that's
We've heard of several of those as well. You didn't consider any of those for your podcast?
Cam, we're gonna leave those out, okay? Yeah. We don't need your stories. Sorry. So Lindsay, I guess the question would be is first impressions. Obviously, Ryan said you guys met at kind of on the floor, and then you guys went out and you were practicing together, just the two of you. So first impression of Ryan, just bang.
That was a long time ago. We were little 16-year-olds. So I guess what drew me to him was his love for sports.
Oh yeah, I'd have to say that you were broomball, hockey ringette, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Didn't hurt that I scored a tournament score or winning goal in overtime when she was babysitting. So I was riding a hot streak that day.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right on. And Adam, I guess for you, first impressions other than her stealing your thunder?
Well, yeah, like I said, first I was the first game, kind of enamored by the beauty, and then that second game, trying to figure out like what just happened here. Yeah, I stole the thunder. But yeah, then the post game where we were talking about travel and realized that we've done a lot of traveling, we have a lot of common interests together, and that's kind of really what sparked, I think, at least for my continued interest into you is
and my initial interest in
yeah.
you.
Right on.
Okay. Getting back to the sport part of your relationship, we'll go back again to you, Morgan and Adam. Do you guys play together now? And how often do you guys play together, if at all?
Yeah, we play. We do the indoor league. That's a co-rec league. I think we've been in that season now for about 2 years.
And we've gone to state and nationals with that team last year. Our nationals was hosted at in South Bend and Notre Dame, which was really neat. That's kind of the first like real big tournament that our team was together. But otherwise, we play on like outdoor team.
Okay.
We've got like 3 different outdoor teams.
And do you guys like playing together?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh yeah, I'll answer. I love playing.
No, it's awesome. I mean, there's something about competition, right? And being on a team with somebody that draws you together and makes you play for each other, and it helps carry over into your relationship, right? You're playing for each other. You're on the team together, you compete together, and therefore you're able to like handle challenges together, survive wins and losses together, both on the rink and then in life. So, yeah.
Plus, we go out for drinks afterward. We carpool. I have a driver.
There you go.
Yeah.
Always had. I've had a DD for the last 9 months. It's been great. So I get that.
Yeah, I'm going on 7. I am pregnant as well. I feel like that was part of our initial story that maybe got us in. We got a Broomball baby on the way. And he's had a sober driver for the last 7 months as well.
Oh, yeah. It's great, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
She's like, oh, why don't you just not drink with me? I'm like, well, I'm not gonna ruin both of our lives.
She's gonna throw a shoe at you soon, Cam. You keep
it looks like she's right in front of me on the couch, staring me down. All right, Ryan and Lindsay, how about you guys? I know you guys play in separate leagues on the Masters and the Young Guns and stuff, but do you guys play together at any time?
So there's the odd co-ed tournament in our area that's just for fun. We typically put a family team in because we have sisters, sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, nieces that play with us still. So we put a fun team in that. It's loads of fun. So we were in a tournament in the fall for that. And then pretty much my entire broomball career, Ryan has coached me up until this year. So I've learned most of my broomball skills from Ryan, and last year he coached us to a gold for our intermediate team. So I don't know if you have anything else to say about that. But
yeah, we've never played co-ed in sanctioned Ontario broomball anything together, but when we were young, before kids, there was always a Friday night pickup league in Desborough. We'd always go to that together, and a bunch of other people would just throw sticks on Friday nights, and that was always something to get our weekend kicked off, which was fun. And then those co-ed tournaments are fun now. They're also unsanctioned, so you get new people out, like nieces and nephews that are just young that are trying the game out and they're playing with their parents. And I've got my 2 sisters that play, and then Lindsay's sister plays as well. So it's it's a pretty good time.
Now, do you guys play men's and women's because you hate playing with each other, or just because you prefer those leagues?
There's no co-ed leagues around here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There is the potential to go to regionals and provincials, but the intermediate and the elite leagues around here have always been really good. And it's been, as much as fun as it is playing co-ed, it's nice to go and play with your buddies too. And we both enjoy playing on our own separate teams and be around. We all go to the same tournaments, we go to the same regionals, provincials. So even though we're not on the ice together for an hour, it's you spend the whole weekend together.
Cool.
Well, I guess that kind of leads into the next question. Greg, knowing that you Ryan, knowing that you pretty much coached Lindsay her entire career, Lindsay, what kind of a critic is Ryan on you?
Well, he's definitely a lot harder on me than everybody else. But I'm used to being coached that way. I also play a lot of baseball, so I'm used to being coached that way, so I can take it. For a lot of the younger generation that I play with, I play on a very young Broomball team now. Can't really handle much of that, but I would rather hear it and improve myself and improve my skills than my coach be soft and I'm not learning anything off of them. So I'm just used to it.
Okay. I guess at the end of the day, he still is probably your number one fan. So
I would hope so.
Yeah, it depends what she did the last shift.
And Morgan and Adam, what about you guys? Like, did you guys ever not play together?
Yeah, I have a men's team that's an outdoor league that I participate in. Obviously, sans Morgan.
Yeah, and I've got a couple women's leagues that I play on, but
And you
I
guys
mean, we met.
watch one another?
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
sometimes. I mean, it's pretty rare that I would go watch his men's league team, but
Turns out she doesn't want to stand outside when it's minus 20 degrees outside.
yeah,
So
yeah. But he'll come and watch our games every now and then, or like when there's like a tournament, there's typically a men's division, a women's division, and a co-rec. So we'll watch each other, when we're not
And
playing.
is there critiquing going on? Either which way?
I would say Morgan probably critiques me a little bit more. She's got that hockey background, I'm
Yeah, like,
I don't
why would
exactly
you do
have the
that?
physique
Okay.
of an elite Broomball player. So
It's just positioning, it's just
Yeah.
positioning and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
Like, why would
all
you
love,
stand
all
there?
support.
Hey,
Yeah.
why would you stand there? Why wouldn't you go stand over there?
Yeah, play the tape back, and taking film. We're talking strategy.
Yeah.
My concrete Broomball shoes.
Yeah. Get your ass
Head back.
moving. Oh, sorry, I didn't swear.
Well, he's got a shirt on still, so we're good.
Okay.
Right on. Well, that's awesome. Well, like everyone says, my wife has watched me forever and she critiques me nonstop. Never played the sport in her life. Never played the sport in her life. But hey, she knows what she's talking about. Because she's
I
always
bet
right.
she does.
Well, she's
always right.
In Broomball, right?
And
That
I love
is
her to
true.
death. She's gonna watch this, so I gotta say that. All right, right on. So, guess watching each other or even playing with each other, what are your can you guys tell us what your partner's strengths are, or as a broomball player? I guess we'll start with you, Morgan. Like, if you're watching Adam, like, what is his strength? Is it his shot? Is it his positioning? Well, obviously not, because you critiqued him on that already. So,
Actually, I would say maybe one of his best skills is just like shorthanded goals, like just being like there in the front of the net, tips.
So he's a cherry picker.
He is.
Cherry picker.
Yep. Hence, talking about positioning.
Yes.
You can't always do the same thing. But it works a lot. He'll get the quick break or be there for the tip in front of the net. So I think one of his biggest strengths is just like being there and kind of moving his body around to like push people out of the way to make that tip or get the dink shot or the backdoor shot. So yeah. Yeah.
To be also fair, in my men's league, I'm a goalie that she's never seen. So
it's true.
So she can't speak of my goalie prowess. But I do have a few clean sheets under my
goalies are number one.
That's right.
Yep. You guys are all nuts. So.
Yeah.
And Adam, what's Morgan's strength?
Well, again, as the ex-hockey player, I think the game kind of slows down for her, and she can really read and see where people are going, what they're going to do, the ability to like close down lanes, again, because of that knowledge of, puck sports, and then just seeing the game faster and then having it translated into slower speed.
Right on. Well, that's pretty wicked. Are you able to help the rest of the team out then too? Oh, I think we lost them. Cam, they're frozen.
Frozen solid. Okay.
Okay.
We'll switch to Ryan and Lindsay here, and hopefully
we have some
see their
technical
faces
difficulty.
again.
They're back. They're back. They're back. Well, they were.
No.
Okay. Anyhow.
We're back.
Oh.
Ryan,
Back?
what about you? What do you believe that you think Lindsay's greatest strength is?
I've been pretty lucky with Lindsay. She's usually been one of the stronger players on the team, so it makes it easy to put her on the ice when I'm coaching. But she's very quick, and she's got a good shot, and she also is pretty aggressive. Sometimes she's pretty slight in stature. Like she says she's 5'2", but I don't believe it. But she sometimes, takes some pokes at bigger girls, and it gets her in trouble. But sometimes it draws penalties, and we get power plays too. So she walks a fine line with that. But
so yeah, she's not the PIM. She's close to being the PIM leader, but not quite.
Probably at the end of the season, she's right up there with their team. But usually not in big moments. And
yeah,
to be honest, it's after 3 kids and a few years off for those kids or some seasons, Lindsay's in fantastic shape. And despite being the oldest player on the team by a long shot, she's still probably in pretty much the best condition or very close to it on her team and in the division overall. So yeah, she's when the boys ask us who's better at broomball, I've got to defer. It's definitely her.
Well, isn't that awesome? We actually had a podcast on how women transition after having children, getting back into the game. It's pretty good. You guys should watch that. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely
Cam ditched
will.
me for an Ottawa Senators game that podcast, but I did it by myself. I rocked it.
Chad, I almost did it again. I almost did it again tonight. I was offered 3 tickets for $30. I was like, oh, I got a podcast. I can't do it again.
Anyhow.
Yeah, I did watch that one because I know Nicole Lenslick. I play against her, and I have won a provincials with her actually. So
yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that one a lot. It was probably one of the best ones we've done. So anyhow, Lindsay, what about you for Ryan?
Ryan's a defenseman, and other than his organizational skills to get all these teams that he's played on over the years going and keeping them all organized in line, I would say he sees the ice well. He can see the long distance pass to people that are open. And yeah, I guess that's what I would say. But he's definitely done most organizing for every single team that he's ever played on, taking them to provincials and nationals. And now that's carrying on to our children and running minor baseball now too. So,
well, I tell you right now, honestly, Ryan, you being a defenseman, you get to see most of the ice, right? Like from myself and Cam's, we've been goalies. I've been played at the elite level many years, and I love coaching. And being a goalie, I feel has helped me tremendously translate that into coaching. Being able to see the entire ice, watch the plays, develop, and I got to play in front of a lot of great players. Like I was very fortunate to see how they move the ball and where to put the ball, place the ball, and it helped me out as a coach to relay that message to the kids that I'm coaching. It does make a huge difference.
yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Adam, how's the internet going?
It's better now. Sorry about
We're
that.
working on it.
The American infrastructure just hasn't caught up.
You know what?
Oh,
That's exactly it. That has to be it.
Before we lose you again, we'll switch to you guys for a question here. Do you have
Sure.
any funny or comical broomball stories you can share with us? It can be about you guys as a couple or just something hilarious you saw on or off the ice in a broomball related thing.
Oh man.
With,
I don't know. I feel like we do a lot of, I don't know if I have any like crazy or wild things that have happened or funny things.
Not other than our annual gala.
Okay. So we typically host in like end of the season or end of the outdoor season broomball party. We call it the broom haha sweeping soiree. it's our banquet. It's very, very prestigious and invite only. No, I'm just kidding. And we play we play minute to win it games, and there's nothing funnier than seeing 30 broomballers with sticks in the backyard, like swinging at balls, trying to score into like a tiny net, or do a in pitch black, right? Yeah. Like, or with
following dizzy bat.
Yeah, following dizzy bat. They're dizzy brooms.
Yeah.
Dizzy brooms game. You know?
Dizzy bats. Yeah.
In this one, it's just hilarious. I don't
So
know.
you guys host this in a backyard somewhere?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yep.
At our house.
Yep, at our house.
Right on.
It's ridiculous. You get a lot of like, cheap beer and broomballers together. It's always a good time.
Isn't all American beer cheap?
I don't know. I guess I don't have a reference point with Canadian beer.
Yeah, it's very. I bought some Natural Light. About a 30-pack was $18 or something.
Oh. Boston Natural Light? That sounds like trash.
I bought
a box of
Natty Light? That's trash.
I love Natty Light.
You gotta up your standards, dude.
Oh, wow.
So good. Natty Light's strawberry lemonade, so good.
Oh, it sounds like puke in a can.
I think they call that Natter Days.
Yes, yeah, that's it. So good.
Gross.
Not for
so
me,
good,
Clive.
so cheap.
Well, right, Lindsay?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have too many funny stories. In those co-ed tournaments, we typically have Ryan's sisters out, and I would say that Ryan took most of the broomball skills from the whole family. So it's always entertaining playing with his sisters. They're loads of fun, but their athletic ability in the broomball world is not quite there. Ryan can tell you the story about his one sister.
So a few years ago in that co-ed tournament, we went into overtime, and they made the rule that it was 2-on-2 plus your goalie. So a man and a woman. And Lindsay and I started, and we didn't score, and we made our line change, and my sister Jen and her husband Mike went out. And Mike's a pretty good athlete, good hockey player. He didn't play broomball at all, but he went over and got a loose ball on the boards, and Jen started running down to catch up to him, we thought. But instead, she went flying at him and slashed his legs out from under him, and they both wiped out and slid into the corner and lost the ball. So I don't know whether she forgot what direction she was going, but they were definitely they ruined a scoring chance. And then they came off to the bench, and they were fighting like cats and dogs. It was hilarious, and the rest of us could barely keep ourselves from peeing ourselves laughing at them so hard. It was hilarious. But no, we've had lots of good times, a lot of stories that if we're allowed to get a little bit more colorful, we could tell some fun road trips home from Palmerston and from provincials over the years, and doing things that probably the police are happy they don't know about.
Yeah. So, yeah. I probably could tell a lot of comical stories from after the game is over.
Yeah.
In the dressing room or driving home.
Yeah.
But
when I was underage, I would have been 17.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys went to their first nationals. I was the only girlfriend for the first, I don't know how many years of our relationship. We took a coach bus to Montreal. So it was like a 10-hour bus ride ish.
Yeah.
I was the only female that went on this, and young. And so you could imagine what a bunch of 18-year-old boys did while we were in Montreal. And so I was dragged into some pretty interesting areas.
It was fun. I probably frequented it myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Even our very first time to junior provincials, we lost in the first final to Seaforth, the defending Canadian champs, and then we won. So we won the whole thing. First time we've ever had a broomball tournament together. And we put all our bags and sticks into one guy's vehicle, and then we all hopped into a minivan that Lindsay was driving, which was nice of her. And we hit the local beer store on the way out of Barrie and cleaned them out of Crystal. And basically she drove the whole team in one minivan back to Katy for our league games that night. There was a lot of empties. It was a good trip though. It was
how was the league game?
Doing that at that young age.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how'd the game go?
Yeah. How'd the league game end up? Did you win?
No, we lost the league game to probably one of the worst teams in the league because we could hardly stand up.
Just imagine.
But totally worth it.
No, all good. Right on. So, with that being said, do you guys have any future broomball related goals as a couple that you guys want to achieve before your broomball career is over?
So
Anyone
for us
can
as a
go.
couple, I think we're probably set. Like our own personal careers are more for fun at this point.
Yep.
But we've got a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a soon to be 10-year-old boy, all boys. And like the 13-year-old is already talking about getting his own team started. So minor hockey is not far from being done for him, and he's eyeing that up already. And the other boys, they love going to tournaments and they take our broken sticks, like the short ones, and they get playing there too. So I think it won't be long before all three of them will be playing, and we just hope to help them get going and coach if we gotta, and follow them around to hopefully lots of provincials and nationals for them.
Well, that'd be awesome. So, do you guys have any U14 or U16 teams in the area, or?
There is a really good league in Palmerston, and Mildmay's going to, and then some local ones out of Kilsyth here. Our boys do love hockey. They're still playing it. All their buddies play hockey. So for right now, they're doing that. But the way that my whole team got into it was we played minor hockey till 16, 17, 18, and then transitioned. So it worked well for us. If it works for them too, that's great. And if they want to get started sooner, we'll embrace that. But we'll ride hockey out until it breaks our bank account, which is any day now.
Yeah, my boy's 13, and I coach his broomball team, a U14 and the U16 team. He plays on both. And we just lost to Bruno on Saturday for the U14 provincials 4-3. So it was a heartbreaker, but
yeah, no kidding.
We came back. We definitely had them on the ropes. They were worried, but
oh, that's good.
It was close. It was close.
Something to build on for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No. Like I said, I love coaching, so I can't wait to be with him as he progresses through U14, U16, U20. I plan on being with him the entire way if I can. If my duties at the SBA and the CBF level allow me to, I would like to continue to coach him.
Nice.
We'll see. Anyhow, Morgan and Adam, what about you guys? Any future goals for you guys to, like whether it's play together at a nationals or go to worlds together or something like that?
Yeah. I had outside of your question, I had a pretty cool opportunity to play in Switzerland for the European Broomball Championships this past October.
Oh yeah.
But I've never been to Worlds, and neither has Adam, so that's definitely on our list. Mm-hmm. And then, just having a baby broomball stick for the crib here in a couple months. I mean, that's really having a future broomballer. That's what we're hoping for.
So, like, I talked to a few people from Minnesota and Minneapolis now about how they get involved in broomball. Broomball basically starts in college for everyone in the States, in my understanding. So, like, with you guys, being avid broomballers and, some other people who are very avid broomballers who Cam and I have talked to on this podcast, with their kids coming up, like, how do you get them rolling before college?
Oh boy, I don't know. I feel like broomball's not as, you guys talk about U14 teams there and younger, and we don't have that opportunity here for kids. Yeah, there's no infrastructure for that. So we might play a lot of outdoor broomball. There's a lot of leagues, there's a lot of adults that play, but there's really not a lot of like younger.
Well, maybe that's a goal for you guys. Get something.
Yeah. My daughter's 4-year-old and plays weekly, so
like Cam's got a 4-year-old daughter that plays nonstop.
Yeah, wow. Well, maybe to start them off in hockey, and then get those transferable skills, hockey and like soccer, stuff with a lot of like, peripheral vision and movement and positioning skills, and maybe that'll transfer by the time they get into college. I didn't even start playing until 5-6 years ago, so I was in my 30s when I started. So that's And I want to go to Worlds. I think I have a chance to go to Worlds. So as long as we develop good athletes, right? Like hopefully there's some transferable skills there.
Yeah. I don't even know if I knew what broomball was until college.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
honestly,
just it.
the first I heard about it was my mom. I mean, I must have been 10 years old and she had these weird shoes. And I was like, Mom, what are you doing? Why aren't you wearing skates? Well,
you're from Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Well,
less
that's like Saskatchewan
here.
almost, right? Like in Saskatchewan here, it's all rural. Like Broomball isn't rural. You don't find it in your city centers like Regina or Saskatoon. It's all a rural sport, and that's what where it's needs to happen, because right now in Saskatchewan we basically have 5 communities that have broomball, and that's it, and they're all rural.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least you have that, right?
Yep, we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's excellent.
Okay, let's get onto the lighter side of things and see what broomball has brought to your relationships over the years. Ryan and Lindsay, we'll start with you guys. Did it bring you guys closer together? Did he give you guys time apart so you could do something other than yell at each other? What was it?
So when we were young, it was pretty much our life from September to the start of April. So there's be 3 tournaments in the area prior to Christmas, and we'd make sure like we were always in those and come home from college and go to those tournaments and hang out, and then we'd play in Arcady League on Sundays as well. And basically we'd plan our whole lives around broomball. Like that in January you'd go to Syracuse or Seaforth, then you'd go to Blythe, and then you go to Katy, and then you go to Harriston, and then you'd have regionals. And any of those weekends you didn't have tournaments, you'd have fun night co-ed broomball, and then practices. Pretty much ran our lives up until the time the kids were starting to get their own activities going. So it definitely brought us closer that way, because it gave us plans outside of work, something to do, and hang out together and hang out with our friends as well.
That's awesome.
It is fantastic. It's crazy. Like we always say, broomball is a very close-knit family, whether you're, wherever you're from, because broomball isn't that huge, and the people that play broomball love broomball, and they love broomballers.
Yeah, some of our best times were the Bloomfields, they were in our wedding, and vice versa, and we'd carpool to tournaments because Brianna and Lindsay would play together, and Mike and I played together on the Phantoms, and we'd ride down and shoot the shit the whole way down, and we'd have a few beers on the way back, or if it was the girls' turn, you'd pull over and dump them in a snowbank to have a pee on the way home, like that kind of stuff. It's just, it was good times. You look forward to it every time there's a tournament. So yeah, definitely has brought us closer. And then it was so much so that our wedding cake topper is actually us in broomball gear at a face-off.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
Show us.
Yeah, and our Buck and Doe, our whole wedding party had broomball jerseys as well.
So I don't know how well you can see that.
We can see that. That is fantastic.
Award-winning wood carver.
Is so
great.
Awesome.
Yeah, my mom carved that for us.
That is wicked.
Yeah.
Your mother did that?
Yeah, Lindsay's number 11.
Yeah, my mom made it.
And then number 7, that's a one of a kind.
That is so cool.
I thought that was like a speed dial thing, never one in her heart, and you got number 7 kind of a thing.
No. Yeah. No, we even had broomball sticks in our wedding pictures. Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing.
Right. My God. We're taking notes.
Yeah. And it was good too. So with my sports background, like I went to school for sports administration and always been an organizer. Our passion as the pair of us allowed Lindsay to just give me freedom with her Aunt Linda, that was the one she was babysitting for. Linda and I and her sister Crystal were in charge we're the ones that brought provincials to Owen Sound in 2015, and then the senior nationals in 2016, and then the junior nationals in 2018. So we were able to do that as a pair and work together to bring those events to the area. So yeah, it's had a huge impact in our lives, and that's we're very grateful for it, and discovering the sport, or I would say rolling into it through our lineage, and then hopefully our boys do the same.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, it looks like they got a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
They sure do.
Yeah.
They just
All
need
right.
to win more golds than their dad. I got way too many silvers.
Hey, that's gold. Hey, that's them having goals, and having goals is a good thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Win more golds than dad. There you go.
Yeah.
Morgan and Adam, let's get you guys this question before your phone falls over again.
I know. I'm so
That's
sorry.
pretty embarrassing here down
I
in
know.
the
It's
States.
we're just
It's okay
Yeah.
because we get to see that cool shirt that he's wearing, so it's all right.
yeah. Minnesota Broomball, baby.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, Broomball brought us together. I mean, that's, because it's how we met. It serves a huge part of our lives because I don't know, we wouldn't have each other if it wasn't for Broomball. So, I
Or
don't
the
know.
future one.
Or the future Broomballer. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's been a short time compared to Ryan and Lindsay. We've only been together 5 years. Actually, our first date anniversary is coming up on Sunday, which is very exciting. He actually asked me out on Valentine's Day.
Actually, that would have been the funny story.
Yeah, because he had to ask me out twice in the same night.
Yep.
Practically corner me in a parking lot so that we could go get a beer together.
Yeah, it was billed as the Valentine's Day Massacre because it was outdoor.
Yeah.
To set the scene, and a snowstorm.
Yeah.
So there was maybe like 1.5 inches of snow
on ice, which
on
makes your shoes really grippy and awesome. And
and this gal
broke her ankle. And so that's the Valentine's Day Massacre because she broke her ankle, and we had to carry her off, and it was wild. But that same night, then some of us went out for beers afterwards, and it was like the last game of the season. So
yeah, so I had to conquer my fears there and ask her out twice.
Yeah, because I didn't hear him the first time, but yeah, that's a long story. Not super long story, but yeah, thank God for his bravery and for my getting over myself to say yes to a drink, and yeah, the rest is history. So yeah.
But to circle back to the original kind of question,
sure.
Like, the impact's been on our lives. Like, we've met a lot of amazing people through Broomball.
Oh my God.
I mean, our community here maybe isn't as developed as it is on the north of the border here, but I mean, the people we meet, we hang out all the time with them. There's constant text communication going on. I mean, the community just in the last couple of years as we've transitioned more indoor has been phenomenal. I mean, just a great group of people.
Just so many friends. I mean, you guys know Broomballers are pretty down to earth, right? For the most part. And if you play this, I mean, it's more obscure, I guess, in the States, but if you play this wild game that is not really known internationally, of course you have to bond with a smaller community, and so we've made just so many awesome connections and friendships through the sport, and it's really enriched our lives. So it's awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. Great answers, guys.
All right. Well, down to our last question, our token last question. So this is going to be a question for all four of you. You have to answer it individually. Okay. So what is your best memory? Your best broomball memory ever? We'll start with Lindsay.
I'm not sure if I can pinpoint one. I have won a couple provincials and experienced different things.
You can name 2 or 3 because everybody always does. It's okay.
I don't know if I have just one, but I started in this league here in Katy with my aunt. We transferred to another team, and then in 2007 I started my own team because I wanted to play with my own friends, and we were all kind of spread out on different teams. So in 2007 I started my own team called the Shooters, and we're still going. So it's 17 years now, and it's all my friends. So it's nice that I can go to that rec league every Sunday or Monday night and play with them. I have played competitively with a few of them. And then when my niece and little cousin that I was babysitting at that Broomball tournament started their own ladies team, I came out of retirement because I had to take 1 year off, and was like, I really want to play with these girls. Yes, I'm really old on this team, but I wanted to experience it with both Estelle and Amanda, and then winning gold with them last year was pretty exciting. So I guess it's just yeah, like they had mentioned playing with the community or meeting the community and how many people you meet playing with your friends. Like the broomball community is definitely an amazing community.
So I'd mentioned something about Adam's shirt. I see you've got a Broomball shirt on. I swear I've seen that one before.
This one was the nationals that was held in Owen Sound.
Yep, got
in 2016.
Got it in the collection.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have an extensive Broomball shirt and hat collection.
Yeah.
That I've got going on for every national I attended. I didn't play in everyone. I've been helping out in Broomball a long time. So even when I go, I get stuff. And obviously with you, Ryan, I know I have that shirt. So
yeah. That was the juveniles in 2018 that were in Owen Sound that we hosted as well. So
yep, I was there as well as a rep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All those events went pretty smooth, to be honest.
It was fantastic. Yep. Anyhow, so thank you, Lindsay. That was amazing. Like getting to play with your niece and everybody else, like that's awesome, right? And then win gold, right? So
yeah.
Ryan, yourself?
Oh, I've spent so many hours playing broomball or weeks and months. It's tough to narrow it down, I guess. Our first year was unreal. Won provincials with the Phantoms in junior, and then played at the Kilsyth Flyers. We won the elite provincials a month later, which seemed easy. I didn't play a lot, but it was like, we're here. That's it. We just won the whole thing. That's pretty cool. And then the following year we won provincials again, and then we went to Quebec, or went to Joliet with the juvenile team, and then went to Corner Brook, Newfoundland with the Kilsyth Flyers for the senior nationals. Just an amazing experience going out there. That's definitely up there. That year as a whole was pretty special. Unfortunately, that was my last gold medal as a player, so it's been nothing but heartbreak after that, but amazing times. We had a really great tournament in Calgary in 2014. We lost in overtime in the gold medal game to the Pogos, and they scored with 16 seconds left to send it to overtime. So that was a heartbreaker. But outside of those 16 seconds, the rest of that week is an amazing memory for sure. But yeah, it's countless. We could go on for days about the good times we've had, and they outnumber the bad for sure. And it's a huge part of our life story in this area, and specifically in our lives, Lindsay, and in our lives. It's been great.
Calgary Seniors is one of my top one for me because we actually won gold. So I was pumped about Calgary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not as pumped.
Just thought I'd throw that out. Sorry.
Yeah, we played the Pogos twice in gold medal games. We're 0 for 2, so I wish I could get back for another shot, but I think this old body's beyond that.
Yeah, but it was in 2014. I don't even remember when we won gold in Calgary. Beat Embrum in the final.
Oh, that's going back. That's prior to 02.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm not going to deny it. I am definitely old. So
experienced, not old.
Well, fine.
I like that better. Yep.
I'll go with that. I was a young kid then, but I mean, beating Embrum Sport in the final is one of the top of all time.
Yeah, not many people did that.
No. Morgan, yourself?
Yeah, I don't have as much experience to draw on, but I don't know. I guess there's a couple, but I think I'm gonna answer your question in kind of I'm gonna be difficult. Okay, difficult American.
Not surprising.
I know. I had to preface it because I know. I think my proudest memory of playing, or at least the one that I think of, and I'm very like happy that I was able to do, is I played broomball up into like halfway through my pregnancy, 25 weeks in, and as a kinesiologist, as a sports scientist, it's neat to be able to like show that it's entirely possible to stay in competitive sports for longer than a lot of people think you can. And I just feel really, truly like grateful that my body was able to do that for as long as it was. And I hope that my recovery can be just as great so that I can get back on the ice, you know, as soon as possible. So that's how I'm going to answer that question. I got a lot of really good memories. I mean, obviously our origin story is probably one of my favorite ones, but you guys already heard that. So yeah, so that's probably my best experience, is just being able to be competitive at 25 weeks pregnant. So yeah.
Adam, were you nervous during this time at all?
Absolutely. Every day.
So there was no arguments before she left the house? Hey, there's no arguments before she left the house saying, "What are you doing?"
Absolutely not. She obviously knows her body better than I do. So I mean, if she feels comfortable out there, then, you know, why would I be the one who stands in front of that?
Good answer.
Yeah.
And yourself, Adam? What about you?
My favorite memory. Again, we don't have quite the accolades or hardware as the Griggs do, but I think one was watching, well, Morgan, but the entire USA team play in Switzerland was pretty cool. You know, some of the other spouses, we formed a like a +1 club, and you know, a little cheering section, was bringing coffees, and you know, so that was kind of neat as a memory. But I think one of my main ones that really holds with me is, I think, with my first year playing, we have an outdoor rink that kind of that overlooks the downtown Minneapolis skyline, and late at night, you know, a little snow again outdoor, and just seeing the beautiful lights of downtown Minneapolis while being able to, you know, enjoy this great sport.
Nice. Yeah, I played at the Minneapolis Worlds. It was a great place to visit. It was a long drive, but it was
yeah, it's a cool area.
I've got to play in Minneapolis a few times in my career. So we did the international tournament and been to Worlds there twice. And then there was another tournament we went down just for fun.
Excellent. Hey, let us know when you come back.
Hopefully we were good hosts.
Yeah, we'll go out.
That kind of concludes our podcast, but is there any other questions that maybe you guys want to ask us, or anything that you want to fire back?
I don't know. Thanks for having us. This was a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
I do have one more question, though, Cam. I do have one, and it's for Morgan and Adam, because I've heard a myth. I've heard a myth about Minnesota and St. Paul, and how there's this huge tournament that takes place on the river, where there's a bunch of ice that's cleared on the river, and there's like 30 rinks at a time. I think it's a myth.
Are they talking about the hockey?
Is it hockey or is it broomball?
No, it's supposed to be broomball.
That might be a myth.
I'm gonna plead the fifth, but I will say,
do they even know that reference?
I don't know,
because they're from Canada.
But we're here.
Yes.
You guys
we know
Fifth
what
Amendment. The fifth means?
Okay.
Fifth Amendment, yes.
We have American TV.
Just because you guys don't know where Regina is doesn't mean we don't know other things about you guys.
Okay. Exactly.
To answer your question, I don't know about broomball, but I know that they do a pond hockey tournament that has 15 or 20 rinks on.
Yeah, it's a local lake, though. It's not on the river, but it's a local lake in Minneapolis where they set up boards for like 15 different rinks, and teams come from all over to play.
Well, maybe you guys should get on that and do the same thing for broomball.
That would be cool as hell. Yeah, that'd be cool.
We don't have ice, though, you know?
Hey, when they're done, when they're done playing hockey, just get out there and play broomball.
Okay.
Play broomball first before the ice is ruined.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
flood it.
Just here on the ice and get it really
just drill a hole,
and then
flood it. It freezes.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I gotta go coach.
Thank you. Yes.
But it was great talking to everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you guys.
Nice meeting everybody.